Hello, Nicoloff students. It's me, Mr. Jaime again. Hope you guys are doing well, staying safe and healthy. And for today's video, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but there's this company or corporation known as SpaceX for short, but it has its longer name, of course, but it's known as SpaceX, and they're actually gonna have a launch, or they had a launch last night. So it's kind of a big deal right now for technology in space. So for today, I will be talking about SpaceX, which is a company kind of like NASA. So as I had said in the beginning, SpaceX is just the short name of the company, and its long, sophisticated actual title name is known as Space Exploration Technologies Corp. And SpaceX, which is basically the same thing as I said right now, but it's shorter. SpaceX, it was founded by Elon Musk, and basically, just to make it more simple for you guys to understand, SpaceX is basically like NASA, but it's not owned by the government, so it's private, completely private, which is one of its first kind, which is really it's good. It gives people a chance of motivation and ambition for you to so you can accomplish that too in the private sector, not just by the government. Now, its headquarters is in Hawthorne, California. As I had said, it was founded by Elon Musk, who is also the CEO. Because sometimes even if they're founded by someone, they don't become the CEO. They just own it and, I don't know, have a vacation or something. But Elon Musk is a true entrepreneur, and he works a lot. Anyways, and Elon Musk created SpaceX with the goal of to reduce the cost of space transportation, which basically means that he wanted to make everything more, how should I say, like more, like he wanted to reduce cost. Basically, he wanted to make everything more efficient with less, how should I say, less resources, and going into the goals and exploration goals that he had. Now, Elon Musk wanted this with the purpose to start the colonization of Mars, which basically means start taking humans literally into Mars, so we can have another place of to live on. Now, Elon Musk founded SpaceX, or Space Exploration Technologies Corp, in 2002, and he's been the CEO ever since. In 2019, SpaceX had a revenue of 2 billion United States dollars, which is an extreme high amount of money, and it also had on a census of how many employees they had, and that they did in May, which is basically, yeah, last year in May 2020, they had 8,000 employees, which is quite outstanding. That's great because that's 8,000 people that he's helping out. Okay. Just real quick, I just want to mention other type of companies and competitors of SpaceX, and there's many, of course, but the top ones, and here, especially here in the United States, are it's Boeing Defense Space Security. Again, I'll say that again because it's kind of hard to understand. Boeing Defense Space Security, and then the second one is United Launch Alliance, and another third one that I found was Blue Origin, and these are very high up there and prestigious as well, just like SpaceX. SpaceX is said to be valued at $92 billion. That's how much his valuation is. That's a lot of money. That's more money than what countries are valued at. So one very famous aircraft or launch carrier vehicle, as I should say, because that is a technical name, is Falcon 9, and it's very famous because it has innovative technology and space technology tremendously, and that's why I chose to do this video on SpaceX, because they just launched their 50th rocket, which was last night on Thursday, and it's a really big deal, and you can go check it out on YouTube if you want to. It's quite outstanding. Now, I want to like specify on something that SpaceX has brought to the table for everyone across the world, and for times being, because no one's gonna forget this information. He has changed. SpaceX has changed, and how should I say this? And become a pioneer, or like a solid foundation for certain people and scientists, because he has developed several launch vehicles, and like to operate launch providing services, which basically launch providing services is LSP, as astronauts and scientists call it for short, is which is basically a type of company that is responsible for ordering, conversion, and construction of carrier rockets, and ultimately conducting a launch itself. So basically, SpaceX is just a company that if you want to launch something up to the space and you have the money for it, they'll figure it out for you. You guys will come to a deal and a plan, and it's privately owned too, so it's not by the government. And now I want to go into the type of rockets of that are launch vehicles that are used. A launch vehicle by definition is a rocket propelled vehicle used to carry a payload, and a payload is basically just what's on the aircraft. The payload can be anything from cargo, passengers, flight crews, etc. So as I had said, a launch vehicle rocket is something that is a vehicle that is propelled used to carry a payload from Earth's surface to space, and also to operate launch provider services. So basically, SpaceX creates rocket launch vehicles, and people can privately, I don't know, have a goal, exploration goal, or SpaceX themselves launch missions. And I wanted to go now a little bit more into the specific rockets that are used and that SpaceX has been using since 2002. It's the Falcon 9, which there's two types of Falcon 9s. There's the medium lift, which is a little bit smaller and carries smaller cargo, and then there's the heavy lift Falcon 9, which is, by its name is self-explanatory. It can carry more stuff. Now, SpaceX, it's their most famous rockets are the Falcon 1, which is the first rocket, that private rocket that was ever launched. And then there's a Falcon 9, of course, and the Falcon Heavy, which is used for bigger amounts of loads and cargo and payloads, as they would use that word. And something important about SpaceX is that as of 2020, SpaceX is dedicated to using Starship system. And basically, Starship system, I had to do a little research on this because I wasn't too aware, but a Starship system it's a system that is fully reusable, and that's basically its big main issue. Like, so it can be reused and recycled, and it should just be better for the earth and nature. And it's a two-stage system, and the first stage is known as a booster stage, which is also known as super heavy, and then the second stage, which is known as the second stage or Starship, and is the Starship second stage is designed as a long duration cargo, and eventually SpaceX wants it essentially to be a passenger carrying space aircraft, kind of like a, how can you call it, space bus, in other words, which is quite fascinating if we get to that point as human beings. Now this is gonna sound a little bit maybe too intimidating, but it's not too hard to understand once you do your research. But I just want to help you guys understand a little bit why the rocket launch vehicles are so like respected, and just people like them a lot. It is because of the way that they're constructed and composed. So these rockets use RP1 liquid oxygen as a rocket propellant, and it's they go into a gas generator power cycle. And basically, in other words, to make that more simple, it's just the technology that he uses is it's very innovative, and it can be recycled. So basically, he's creating new ways, or SpaceX in general as a corporation are creating new technologies that use less resources, and that's the main goal. Well, I hope you guys are interested in SpaceX, and you guys should do a little research on the Falcon 9 launch, which was yesterday, Thursday, the 8th of January 2021. And hope you guys liked the video, and just remember to stay safe and healthy. Just wear face masks if you leave your home, and just remember cleaning your hands constantly, 6 feet apart. Hope to see you guys soon, and stay safe and healthy.